Today we're going to be working on my 69 Chevelle here that I bought a few months ago. And my goal is that we're going to get this running and driving. I wanted to get it running and driving this week, but I have some issues that will prevent that. But we're going to do our best, and hopefully by middle next week this will be running and driving. So what are we going to do? We're going to put in this engine that I have over here. That is a 400 Chevy small block. And I could just put this in here, but unfortunately I'm stupid, so I have bought a camshaft that is way too much for this otherwise bone stock engine. I have the cam and everything over there. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough that grease that you're supposed to have when you're gonna run it for the first time, so I got to order that before I can put the cam in. But we're gonna get the cam in, we're gonna put on an aluminum manifold and an Edelbrock carburetor and stuff like that. And with that, I have some headers over here and also a Muncie M20 for speed. So it will be going to manual. And this is only for to getting the car running. We have a lot of issues. As you can see, the whole trunk floor has fallen out, and we need to redo the whole floor. We have some rust in the roof that we'll get to. It is so rusty that the rear window has fallen out. I don't have that. I have the interior, but it is honestly so rotten that I don't think I can use it. We also have a lot of rust here around the windshield, and we have rust everywhere. But we're going to be focusing on getting this thing running and driving. And for now, we're a little bit stuck on the cam grease. So I'm waiting for that. But when I will get that tomorrow. But for now, I want to work on the clutch pedals. So what I have done here is I removed the original pedal, which is this one, the automatic. This is a 307 with a power glide originally, so no muscle car here, just a plain Jane car. So yeah, I removed the original pedal, and then I used this brake pedal that is from my 67 Chevelle that I also converted to manual. And as you can see, it had a different bend. And when I looked at pictures at pedal assemblies for 69 Chevelle, the brake pedal looked exactly the same between the 67 brake automatic pedal and the 69 manual pedal. So I just cut off this piece so that we can get the proper width. And this is what I believe is a Camaro pedal. I bought this from a swap meet. Yeah, it was only the price tag. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I bought it. He didn't really know. He thought it was Camaro, so I just bought it. But it matches really good with the picture I have of a 69 pedal assembly. So what I've done is this was too far down, so I have, it's a bit hot still. I moved it up a bit, so now they line up, they're the same width and everything. So now I can start and try and get this into the car, see if everything works. Then we're gonna get a steering column in it. I have a manual column over there. I got one column sitting in the car, and that one, which isn't the Chevy column, was in the car. So we'll see what we can do. We have to take this, gonna have to make a hole here for the rod for the clutch linkage. And yeah, a bunch of stuff. But right now we're gonna try and see if these fit, and then we can do the rest. Here we have the pedals in the car, and I gotta say they feel like they're a bit too far apart, but I mean, it's going to work. We could move that in half an inch, move that half an inch, or whatever, wherever it wants to go. We can measure on some other car later. But what I'm mostly thinking about is the rod that is supposed to go here and through a hole we need to make in this plate that is attached to the steering column, which I have started with. And on the original pedal, it goes out like this, and it has a bracket that goes backwards, and the rod goes on this side, which I think is really strange, because I feel we need to get over to the passenger side a lot. But yeah, I think that will give when we get more stuff in the car. But the thing is, I don't have any of the proper stuff. So, I mean, I have a C bar. I have one of those brackets that goes over here. But I mean, I need to get the engine and trans in the car so I know where they go, so I can put in the C-bar and see that that is straight, so I can put this bracket on when we have the C-bar in place. Then we can start measuring for the rod, which I assume needs to have some sort of bend in it. So I really can't get any further, and I was thinking I was going to put in the steering column, but it's just going to be in the way when we're starting to do this. So I really think that I should wait with the steering column, get the engine in, get all of the C-bar or clutch linkage stuff done, and then put in the steering column. With that said, I have started to look here on the steering column. I took this piece, that piece, away here so I can put it on that steering column, and I have it here. I have made a hole. We need to make it bigger. Maybe it has to go one way or the other, but we have a starting hole that we can make bigger if needed. So yeah, might as well. I'm gonna clean this with the wire wheel, paint it black, put it on that column, and then I guess we can't do anything more. Yeah, I'm really stuck on parts right now. I need that cam grease, or parts. I just need a stupid grease so I can get the cam in. When I have the cam in, I can put the engine in the car. I mean, then we can put on the pan and everything. So we can put it in the car, then we can look at the clutch stuff. And yeah, I also have a problem that I haven't mentioned yet. Since this is a 400, it is externally balanced, which means I don't have any flywheel for it. The 400s were very uncommon with the manual transmission, so they're hard to come by, especially here in Sweden. So what I have to do is, what I will probably end up doing is I'm gonna order a new flywheel from Rock Auto, which will cost me like $300 or something before it is here with me. And also it will take a week. So the plan for right now is we're gonna put the whole engine together with the flex plate that was on it, that is correct for the 400, put on the manual transmission and everything, so I can put it in the car, see where everything goes, fix the transmission cross member, we can work on the C-bar and everything. And then when I get the flywheel, I can just pull the trans up with the flywheel, up with the clutch, and put it together, and we will be done. So that's the plan anyway. But we're a little bit dry on parts right now. So yeah, we're waiting for the cam grease. So I'm gonna think here a little bit if there's anything else we can do here today before we get that stupid grease. I have these two pieces painted, so now officially this will be the nicest looking thing on the car. But I mean, we're gonna put them on the steering column, but as I said, the steering column isn't the most important thing right now. But I was looking over this because this steering column was in the car when I got it, and it didn't have a key, so it couldn't turn the wheels, which is the least problem. I mean, we can change out the ignition cylinder, that's no problem. But it's obvious that this is a Chevy column. It's a GM column, but it's not a Chevy, because Chevy never had the indicators right here, and there is a Pontiac logo on the steering wheel. So obviously this is from the same platform, Pontiac. But was in the car, it fitted right up, all of the connectors worked and stuff like that. So it only needed a new cylinder, ignition cylinder. So, and also that was in the car, and that says on some piece here that is for a Monte Carlo Chevelle El Camino. However, this piece is longer on this one than on that one. So, but I mean, these are interchangeable, so that's not a problem. But I was going to use this because this is a proper manual steering column with this thing. And I wanted to use it, and I started fixing with this because it was really hard to turn. But then I just put this side by side, and the steering wheels are about the same height. So there is the same height of the floor. And then I saw this. So this steering column that I wanted to use is shorter, which, I mean, we could absolutely use it if this was the only steering column we had. But since I have a steering column that was in the car and everything was lining up and working, my plan right now is I'm going to ditch that column and ditch that column. I'm going to get a new ignition cylinder tumbler and use this. And later we can, or later when we put it in, we cut this and we can remove this piece. We can cut off that, fix the hole with some filler, paint this, and you will never know it was an automatic column, and it will look great. So for the ease of just putting this in and knowing it will work, I'm gonna go ahead and use this, and I can put these two away. It will be great to have them as spares, but they're not going in the car. And with that said, we're not gonna put this in right now because I wanna get all of the clutch stuff done before. So yeah, we're stuck again. So I'm gonna do some more thinking here what we're gonna do. I'm just walking around here trying to figure out something to do, and it's really frustrating because I'm so hung up on this stupid grease for the camshaft. If I don't get the camshaft in the engine, I can't put the engine together. Then if I could put it together, I could put it in the car. We could start fixing the clutch linkage, we can put on the headers, and we could do all the stuff, but we're hung up on some small little bag of grease because Melling doesn't apparently send them out with their cams, which I thought every cam manufacturer did, but apparently not. Maybe they don't do that at all, I don't know, but I thought they did. So we will have that tomorrow, but for today we're really hung up on that stupid thing. So with that said, the only thing I feel I can do right now is painting this. So I'm gonna use some black paint. Not gonna do any super nice paint job. I'm just gonna use the brush and yeah, it will have to do. So I'm gonna do that. So here we have the engine and how it turned out and the parts. And I like this semi-gloss, but I also like high gloss engine. So now we have a good protective layer, but I might just go over everything with some more shiny black, just because I think it looks good, but I don't know. Maybe this will do. I mean, it will definitely do. It looks a lot better than it did before. But now when we have the cam grease, we can put this together tomorrow and we don't have to paint it. And yeah, it's gonna look a bit better when we don't have paint over the screws and stuff like that. So yeah, now we can go ahead and paint the engine bay. It's amazing what 2.5 rattle can do. I could use some more here on the inner fenders and the firewall, but in all honesty, when you get some dirt on it, you're not gonna notice these dry spots where I don't have as much paint. I mean, I didn't do any prep work at all. So I think it looks great for what it is. We're gonna do it better later. And when we get the engine in, which is going to look good, it's going to look overall really nice in the engine bay. So I'm happy with that. So that will have to dry. And I'm so frustrated that I don't have that stupid cam grease. It feels like I'm not getting any progress today, which I am, but it's not the progress that I want to be doing because I want to get a cam in and finish the engine, not do all the prep work. But when we have the cam grease, which I will have tomorrow morning, we can just start working. And when we have the cam in, we can just shove the engine in. So, I mean, we are not doing anything that isn't going to be done anyway. But now is one of the times when I really wanted to have a 2-car garage. I would really like to take a break with this, and I would need to work on this thing because I know that there's one thing wrong with the rear axle. My kids and I were out doing some burnouts with this and it started to having this sound that's rotating with the wheels. I removed the diff cover and the pin for the spider gears is loose, so I have to weld that or something. But I'm thinking that there is something else that makes the horrible sound. And I really like driving this thing. It's besides the rear axle, there's nothing wrong with it. So now it just sits because I can't take it in the garage, and I'm not that keen to working outside. Even though it's not freezing right now, it's really, not the greatest weather to be working outside. But that's life. Anyway, I'm gonna let this dry for a bit and see what we can tackle next. I'm just walking back and forth here in the garage and thinking, what can I do? What can I do to make it easier tomorrow or what else? But I can't figure out anything to do right now. I really need that stupid cam grease to get the cam in the engine, to be able to put the engine together, to put it in the car. When we have it in the car, we can do a lot of stuff. We can work with the exhaust, with the shift linkage, drive shaft and all of that. And I need to order a flywheel and a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'm really hung up on that right now with the cam grease. And I really hope I was going to be able to do more here today. But in all fairness, we have done a lot of prep work to get the engine in the car. Even if we got the camshaft in today, we would have painted the engine bay and everything. And I mean, this is what I had accomplished today, so I wouldn't probably have had the time to do both the cam and paint and everything else. So we're not losing time. It's just that I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do today. But tomorrow morning, I'm going to have that grease. We can put the engine together, and hopefully by the end of tomorrow, we can have the engine in the car if everything with the cam works out, and we don't have any major problems. So that's what I'm hoping for right now. So for those of you that have been watching me a while and been wondering where I've been, it's hard to do the English videos and the Swedish at the same time. And also I try to do where I post daily or Monday through Friday on the Swedish channel, and I try to do some sort of 2 days a week here on the English channel, and that didn't work. So for now, I'm gonna try to do exactly what I do on the Swedish channel, post Monday through Friday, at least when I don't have to be home with the kids when they're sick and stuff like that. But that will be easier for me to keep it in my head, because otherwise it's really hard to keep track where was I on the English videos compared to Swedish videos. And yeah, whatever, you get the point. So I'm gonna do my best to try and get videos out Monday through Friday from now on, and we'll see how it turns out. I hope you look forward to that, and I'm really sorry that I'm back and forth so much, but it's hard to keep up with 2 channels. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.